Okay, welcome back to Horses and Archery. This is part 5 of our archery horse videos. We're back with the quarter horse, and if y'all remember the last session I had with him, we were on the track, and I was trying to get him to stop as soon as I shoot the arrow. What I want to happen before we start cantering down the track, I want to walk, shoot, and him automatically stop at every target. Okay, and same thing with the trot. I'd like to walk, and when I shoot, trot, and when I shoot, him stop at that target. And cantering, I want him to just kind of feather down to a stop. That's what we're trying to do. But if y'all remember, the last session, he didn't get anxious, he didn't go crazy or nothing or run off, but he just ignored me. That's what he was, just ignoring my feet. Now, he did come off the track a couple of times, and a couple of times on when I was cantering him around the track, when it wasn't on the video, he tried to come off, and I had to correct him a couple of times on that. So what I did was I brought him back to the round pen. Instead of fighting him on the track with that, I brought him back to the round pen to kind of address it. Now, if you remember how he would want to dive into the middle of the arena every time you'd get him up into a canter or a trot, he would want to go to the middle arena or want to go right up next to the target, and he was doing that on his own. Now, that he was trained to do that. I don't know why. Apparently, they had a reason they wanted him to do that, but I don't want him to do that. I want them to go where I tell them to go. I don't want them to take it upon themselves just when they get ready to dive into the middle of the arena or run off the track or anything like that. They need to listen to my feet. So we're going to address that, kind of kill two birds with one stone. I want to get him to listening more to my feet and start to preparing more to stop whenever I shoot. Okay? And again, that needs to take place. He needs to be able to do this before you ask him to canter down the track and shoot. And the reason for that is that every time he hears that pop of that arrow or he feels that you shoot the bow, I want him to anticipate a stop. I don't want him to associate it with running forward. I want him to associate that with anticipating a stop and a break. Because what happens is when you start asking them to canter, they will, their emotions heighten. And so whenever you're moving your hand fast with the bow and with the arrow trying to get knocked and shoot, that even heightens their emotions even more. So they hear the pop, they associate that with going forward, and then everything's escalated, so they speed up. And then they hear another pop, and they speed up again, and before you know it, they're running off with you. So what I do before I ask them to really just canter down the track, I get them to start to anticipate a stop every time I shoot. Okay? So that's what I'm doing right here. I'm getting him to anticipate that stop and getting him to listen to my legs, to stay on the outside of this round pin, not to dive in. And so whenever you see me lift the reins, whenever you see me have to touch the reins, every time I touch the reins, that means he's not listening to my feet. Okay? So you'll see how much he's when he's doing wrong and when he's not. So again, I'll do this at a walk, I'll do this at a trot, and I'll do it at a canter. What I'll do is I'll just bring him around, shoot my bow, ask him to stop, and I'll continue to do that until he stops on his own. Right there, he's getting better. Now, he was started in archery. I actually seen a video of him with the guy that actually started the horse, that actually trained the horse in the beginning. He shot archery off of him, which surprised me. But he doesn't compete or anything. He just does it on his own, you know. And that's got a little bit to do with why he's continuing just to go forward and not stop. He's not excited about it. He just doesn't know to stop. So we're going to get him to do that. And so I just do it to the left. I'll do it to the right. I'll do it both directions. At a walk, trot, canter, and I just continue to do this until he's listening to my feet and he's really anticipating the stop. Now you see there, he kind of turned in just a little bit. Again, I'm not going to make a real big deal about it. I'm just going to bring him back to the outside. Now you see, I backed him up and moved him a little bit more. I just didn't stop and give him a complete break. I didn't really get on to him real hard about it, but I did ask him to back up. I asked him to do a little bit more than if he would have just stopped square. Now you're going to see he's really going to start trying to go in right here. And so what I'm going to have to do is start cantering him, and instead of just holding his head to the left, what you want to do, you see how I'm having to pull his head to the left? He's going to start tipping his nose to the left. You don't want him to do that. You want him to tip his nose to the inside. The direction that you're turning, that's the way you want his nose to tip. So what I'm doing is I'm taking the slack out of that right rein and kind of holding it, tipping his nose, and then I'm holding him over with my left hand and my right foot. I'm cueing him. I'm putting my foot in his ribs, making him kind of bend around my leg, and I'm tipping his nose in and just holding him over to that outside. And I want to continue to do this until I can get into the neutral position and him maintain. And there he goes. He's doing good. So then I shot and let him stop. Okay. So as long as he's not listening to my legs and I'm having to pull him over and do all kind of other stuff, we're going to trot, or we're going to canter, or we're going to continue to walk. As soon as he listens and does what I'm asking him to do, then I'll shoot and stop. And there, stop good. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to end it right there. He did good. I did it to the left, circling to the left, I circled him to the right, and he's listening to my legs there at the end both ways. So if you noticed, I didn't lead him over to the target to get my arrows. What I did is I continued to walk to the outside of walk around the outside to where I have his halter hanging, and that's where I'm going to end. Now, this is the next session. This is the next day. And all I did was saddle him up, set the camera up, brought him right to the track, and we're going to see what he's learned. Bam, shot. Just had to touch the reins, touch his neck, really, and he stopped. Did good. Give him a little break, and I'm going to ask him to walk to the next target. Now go ahead and knock an arrow. I'm just keeping everything smooth and easy. Not walking on eggshells, but I'm not getting everything excited. I raise up, shoot, and he stops. Good. He did good. And I'm going to go on down to the next target. And again, all I did was just saddled him up, set my camera up. I walked over here and I did this. And as you can see, he's going to stop at all 3 targets. Now, when he does this, I'm not going to keep going. Not today, anyway. I want to stop. We're going to end the session. It took me longer to saddle him than it did for me to do the session. And you'll see what I did is I just walked him back. I didn't walk off the track and bring him. I'm going to walk him all the way back to the beginning and then get off the track and end it completely. And what this does, it puts the brake at the beginning of the track. It's not going to be at the end of the track. So when I'm cantering him down, when I start to canter him, his brake is going to be behind him instead of in front of him. And that's going to make a difference on how he does. Again, if y'all like these videos, just go ahead and like them and subscribe to them and share them with a friend. Thanks.